What's good? It's your boy CJ Goodfella back with the Boxing Clinic. Another one on this Good Friday. And basically, I'm piggybacking off my boy 787 Sports, his YouTube channel. Go check him out. Very thorough brother. Basically saying that, Manny Pacquiao Tim Bradley is ducking top opposition at 147 and ducking the PBC fighters and getting the pass for it. And you got to absolutely agree with that. Even Tim Bradley said he doesn't have to be, I'm paraphrasing, his career wasn't validated on him, fighting PBC fighter. He had no interest on fighting none of them. And that's crazy for him to even come out and say that, because when he signed when he left Gary Shaw after the Devin Alexander fight right around there, he signed with Bob Arum, and Bob Arum was pretty much using Pacquiao like the fish and the lure and the bait to get fighters over there and promising them a Manny Pacquiao fight. And he made good money. And basically when he took that contract, I basically said he'd never fight none of those Al Heyman guys. And basically he ducked without probably even knowing that he ducked a lot of those guys in the nucleus of 147. And he had his drama with Amir Khan back in the day, and he never really tried to make that fight happen with Bob Arum. So Bob Arum basically told him, like, we don't fuck with Golden Boy at the time, and now we don't fuck with Al, but him and Al is supposed to be on working terms as a plea bargain or agreement to throw his deposition out against PBC Al Heyman. He beat him and Oscar. But he don't talk about those fights. He's still talking about fighting old ass Miguel Cotto, moving up to 154 or catchweight to fight Cotto, where at 147 he doesn't have any power. When we rather see him face Amir Khan, face Danny Garcia. He doesn't even have to face Earl Spence, Kell Brook. Face those two guys. You know what I mean? Instead of facing Jesse Vargas, Manny Pacquiao, Marquez, Cotto. We don't want to see you mess with the same fighters that Bob Arum had or have relationships with through promotional labels or through HBO. And Manny Pacquiao is another guy. He tried to step out on his own to fight Amir Khan, and it didn't happen. And Bob Arum is the main integral piece for these guys not fighting those other type of guys and getting the fights that we want to get. And people still gonna say that the route to welterweight undisputed clear number one in pound for pound supremacy, or towards pound for pound supremacy, it still goes through one of these two guys. And at the same guy, these guys not even a factor in the division. You know what I mean? Because they're gonna go on and fight everybody around instead of going through and wanting to go out their way and tell Bob that they really, 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 truly want to fight the best in their division, and they really don't want to compete. They both at the twilight of their career. Floyd Mayweather had to talk Tim Bradley out of retirement after the Manny Pacquiao fight. Manny Pacquiao was just here to make as much money as he can and go into the twilight. He's a politician now, and I think people need to wake up and realize that these two guys are just there. They just sitting there, similar like the Twilight Zone. Everything is freezing around them, and they just there picking and choosing the best money fights. And at the end of the day, if that's what they want to do, that's what they can do. But they shouldn't even be ranked high in any sanctioning body, because at the end of the day, they don't compete. They don't want to fight those fights, even if they're mandatories. These are the type of dudes that have dropped the belt because they got enough notoriety and fame where they can just sell off at their name at this point. And for Tim Bradley, I think if he gets the Miguel Cotto fight, that'll be his last fight, man. I don't see him, facing off of Crawford. They best friends. He said he doesn't want to face Crawford, and pretty much there's nothing there else to do unless he wants to rematch Jesse Vargas, rematch Ruslan Provodnikov, who was in semi-retirement. Other than that, what's the point? Maybe Lucas Matisse if Al and Bob is fighting, but they've been throwing little mini shots at each other. So there's nothing much that he can do. They don't want to be undisputed champion. They don't want to fight the PBC fighters and Team Tim Bradley, and neither does Manny Pacquiao. Even though he tried to fight Amir Khan, and basically his fate is going to be fighting Terrence Crawford. And if he loses that fight, he's going to retire. And I think that fight won't happen to 2018 at the latest, and probably even 2019 if he decides to fight that long. So pretty much at the end of the day, these two guys are really a non-factor in the division. Basically, the division is coming down to three fighters. I don't care what you say. Spence Brook fight and a Thurman fight. Everything else is obsolete until somebody else chooses to break the mold and break the trend and fight PBC fighters from Top Rank and put their hoof down or their foot down and tell Bob what they really want. But they don't do that. They listen to their boy Bob. We gone.